Happy Sunday, Boalia Desmond here. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope you had a fantastic Sunday. And today I want to talk to you about your testimony. I actually titled the message with a question, do you know your testimony? Because you have one, right? You have one, and maybe you've never even really thought about your testimony being powerful. Maybe you've never even really thought about, how you can formulate it and how you can even lay it out in order to speak it to someone or to tell someone about it. But you do have a story, and your story is important. And really today I want to talk about testimony in terms of your story and how you came to know Christ, and where you are today. So we think sometimes we downplay our stories and we think, well, nothing really has happened, or, I don't really have a powerful story. Or sometimes we try to suppress the pain that we've been through because we think, I don't want to be that vulnerable. I don't want to get to the point where somebody kind of sees my hurts or somebody uncovers, the depths of my pain. But it all matters. I want to encourage you today that it all matters. And how can you lay out your story? Number one, thinking about where you were, your life was without Christ. Before you knew him, what was your life like? Were you just carefree and just had no idea? Or were you running away from God when he was tugging on your heartstrings to bring you back the right way? What did your life look like? Were you amongst other believers, or were you just in a group where nobody really believed? So number one, where were you? Like, what was your life like before Christ? And then number two, what made you, do you remember when you gave your life to Christ? What were the circumstances? What was happening? Did somebody speak to you about it? Did you go to a church service? Did you go to a conference? Did you have a friend or a co-worker who spoke to you about Jesus? Or did you just watch someone from afar and you thought, I kind of like their life, or I wonder how I can get to know this Jesus that this person talks about all the time? Do you remember? Do you remember when you finally said, I surrender, I want to give my life to Christ, I'm done being on my own, I'm done striving, I'm done fighting, I'm just done? Do you remember that time? And then number three, describe your life now that you have Jesus in your life. What does your life look like? What has been the biggest change for you? How has your life gone since you gave your life to Christ? Because we're not promised that, when we give our lives to Christ, that it's going to be all roses and it's going to be all this great thing. But what has happened for you now that you live your life for Christ? So those are the three things that I want you to think about when you're forming your story. Describe your life before Christ. Do you remember the moment when you said yes, or the time when you said yes to give your life to him? And then what does your life look right now? Your story is important. Tell it all the time. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow.